Good morning, all.
Good morning.
What are you guys doing? Coffee kicking in, everything's good? Excellent. I'm really happy to be here and proud to be here and proud to be in Chandler because, as Christine mentioned, there's no better place to raise a company from scratch, and we'll get to that in a bit, but I kind of wanted to get a poll of the audience. Who is already a business owner in here? Handful. And who are pre-entrepreneurs or getting ready to start something? More than current owners, okay. And of you pre-entrepreneurs, how many of you are going to start your deal in the next quarter, next 3 months? Oh, excellent. How about the next month? A few? How about the next day? Grind it down to granularity here. Excellent. Okay, so a lot of pre-entrepreneurs. And of you current business owners, how many of your deal is done? You're done, you've realized your success, and you're here for the free coffee. Okay, no hands? Okay, good. That's one of the things I wanted to, as James mentioned, to me, I have an engineering background. Our company is an engineering company. We serve the defense market. We build custom hardware and software and serve our government and military and intelligence organizations. One of the things that I realized when I was asked to speak is, they asked me to speak about our success, and there's a lot of interpretations of success. One being the traditional financial interpretations of success. We have been fortunate enough to realize triple-digit growth year on year since 2007. But what I wanted to share with you guys, especially given the pre-entrepreneurs in the room that are about to go start your deal, I wanted to share with something with you that I felt was foundational to our success, and hopefully will be foundational to your success as you build your companies here in Chandler. There's some key ingredients that I feel you guys should know about, and they're non-traditional. They're not the things you traditionally learn in business school. I definitely was not taught these in engineering school. So I'm hoping to share that with you guys so you guys can benefit, hopefully, in building, with more velocity than we did and than otherwise you might have realized. Like any good engineer, albeit in my case a recovering engineer, when I was asked to speak on success, I began to analyze and I began to scrutinize. What do they mean? What's Christine mean when she said she wants me to speak on success? So of course I turned to Merriam-Webster and say, well, what do they interpret success as? What's the norm out there? And of course I won't share with you the spreadsheets and Monte Carlo analysis and all those weird neurotic things I do as an engineer, but I looked it up and I found this definition. Success is a noun. The favorable or prosperous termination of events or endeavors. I immediately took a great deal of umbrage with that. Termination. I mean, it sounded like there was some end state that we're here, there's success right there. If I do some things, I walk up and now I'm in success and I'm done. And I just took a great deal of umbrage with that because our journey, my wife and I founded this company, has been completely the opposite. It's been a series of calibrations, it's been a series of course corrections, it's been a series of self-discovery on what's important to us, and a series of learning things that they did not teach us, again, in engineering school, nor in the business courses I've taken. So like any good entrepreneur or engineer that doesn't know how to run the technology here, I redefined it. I said, no, that's not success. This is success. So I opened up the Entrepreneur's Dictionary, which is really just a nice way of saying something I made up and wrote down. And it said, no, success is not a noun. Success is a verb. Success is action. Success is a series of practices, habits, skills that we are in action every day with. We hold these things in our backgrounds because we're energetically, vigorously attacking these things day in and day out. Success is not a noun, it's an action, it's a verb, it's a series of skills that we acquire through this journey of entrepreneurship. And I said, okay, great, I've redefined success. It's a verb, it's action, but an action against what? So I said, well, I think the people here would like to know what I consider, at least, what we've considered in our successful business, what are the key ingredients? If we're going to be in action against something, how do we know the actions we're in are the right actions? How do we know the actions are in are going to produce the results that we have defined are important to us? There's common interpretations of financials or business success that are out there. You know, your EBITDA, your year-on-year growth, and all these common metrics for the world to say you are successful. But what I've often realized, and in our case was true, we're not the ones who defined that. It was somebody else. So one of the key things I wanted to share with you guys today was discover your own ambition. And it normally, my strong encouragement would be start with your lifestyle ambition. Don't start with your business ambition. Hey, here's my business plan, and here's my growth, here's my pro forma, here's my projections, here's all these things. That's a derivative of something else that, in my interpretation, is more important, and that's discover your lifestyle ambition. For the sake of what are you building a business? Why are you doing this? It's a lot of work, it's a lot of risk. I can speak days on that. Happy to do that over beers and coffee. But why are you doing this? Discover your lifestyle ambition. And the lifestyle ambition, I mean, like literally write it down. We have a lifestyle plan that we've written down that says, okay, well, we want to live in this kind of neighborhood, go to these kind of schools, drive a car that doesn't break down, is reliable, that I don't put myself at risk, like to be able to afford a gym so I can take care of myself, so I enjoy my kids, and all those sort of things. But those things have a marketplace value, if you hadn't noticed. Paying your rent, paying insurance, paying all these things, there is a set, and it's easy to calculate. It's a set of services and goods in the marketplace that are priced in the marketplace that we have to pay for to live what our interpretation is a good life. Is it fair to say everybody in here wants to live a good life? Is that fair? Is that kind of what we're all after? But what's that mean to you? Is it Rolls Royce and caviar? Is it just living in a good neighborhood with your kids and raising your kids? There's no right answer. It just needs to be your answer. But the fundamental point here is that's going to drive a financial ambition. If it's caviar and Rolls Royces, your financial ambition is going to be different than somebody who's is not that. Financial ambition and business ambitions are derivatives of your lifestyle ambition. I'll let that just kind of settle in for a bit. Does anybody take issue with that? Nobody? I see smiles. Does that make sense? See a few north-souths and maybe some people whose coffee hasn't kicked in yet. Everybody good? Good. Again, this is more of catharsis, cathartic experience for me. This is sharing with you what I had hoped somebody would have shared with me in these 5 years, because it could have been, I shouldn't have had to self-discover this. It would have been nice at least. Kind of like, wanting to go whisper in your ear when you're a kid, knowing what you know as an adult, to avoid those mistakes that we may have made in our youth. It's kind of like that. It's like, that's my ambition for being here today, and why I'm thankful Christine and the city invited me, is to hopefully share some things that will help you accelerate your experience and build a great business here in Chandler. Discover your lifestyle ambition first, because that's going to drive everything else. Before you go to Heritage Bank for money, I love those two questions, by the way. Completely atypical from the experiences I had, so I appreciate your philosophy there. But again, knowing for the sake of what? Why are we doing this? This is a lot of work, a lot of energy, a lot of risk, a lot of cost. Develop your holistic lifestyle ambition and be clear on your answer to, for the sake of what am I doing this for? Everybody's going to have a different answer, and there's no right or wrong answer. It's just you need to think about these things before you develop your business plan, because the business plan is going to drive your financial plan, and financial is going to drive your lifestyle. that, again, just kind of check in with you guys. Does that make sense? Good, good, good. I like to mentor young adults who, again, kind of whispering in the ear, you know, of that kid. I wish it would have been myself in my youth, but so I like to do that from time to time with young adults, and ran into a young man just getting ready to go to college. I'd seen him for years. He works at the gym. He works at the front counter of the gym I go to. And I just checked in with him from time to time. Hey, Taylor, how's it going? What's up? Taylor, what's up? Oh, man, I'm excited. Getting ready, you know, getting ready for finals here, getting ready to graduate. Wow, exciting, awesome. What do you got, what do you got cooking? Oh, man, I'm excited. I'm like, what are you after? 6 figures. Cool, 6 figures. That's awesome. Why not 7? Kind of tilts his head at me. He's like, what do you mean, why not 7? I'm like, well, 7's more than 6. And you're after 6. Why not 7? Well, he's kind of doing the math. Well, that's $1 million. Okay, 3. Yeah, that's a wow. Well, that's hard. I'm like, yeah. What? So 6. He's like, yeah, I never thought about it that way. I'm like, well, 6 is hard. Why not 5? It's easier. He's like, I never thought about it that way. He's like, well, what are you trying to do with 6 figures? What are you after? Well, what do you mean? I'm like, well, I'm assuming that you've done the math that said, 6 figures, it's $100,000 minimum, up to $999,999. Pretty big range there, by the way. I figure you've done the math, and you've kind of, figured out what kind of lifestyle you want to lead, and kind of just jotted it down in a little spreadsheet, and Excel's pretty good at summing things up, and that you kind of got to the end of this and said, well, I need 6 figures. Like, no, didn't do that. I said, well, why? I don't know. I just heard, 6 figures is a lot of money. Like, well, it is or it isn't. You don't know yet until you know what you're after. The point is, society tells us oftentimes what the definition of success is versus ourselves. My encouragement is, discover what your definition of success is and act against that. Act against the lifestyle ambition that you produce, so you know what actions you're in are going to accomplish the things that you want in life. Having ambition is an extremely effective filter in your life. We're bombarded with opportunities to dilute our capacity day in and day out. Have you noticed when you're awake, you're doing something? Whatever that something is, I joke, you are where your butt is. Where is that? Is it in action to accomplish something that you've defined is good for your life and your lifestyle ambition? Is your interpretation of a good life? Or not? Having a lifestyle ambition, writing it down and acting against it and changing, it's a living document. It's going to change as your seasons of life change as well. But having it written down is an extremely effective filter, because you're bombarded with opportunities to invest your capacity, your attention, and your energy. And how do you know when you invest these things, if you go after this business opportunity, or you go on this lunch engagement, or you do these things, you're investing your capacity. My encouragement is, have a filter so you know when you invest these things, you understand it is for the sake of what. How else are you going to know if you get there, if you get to that, quote, success in your life? Otherwise, you're just kind of a leaf in the wind, blowing around, not knowing where you land, right? I have a friend who he's on the West Coast, he owns a wealth management company. He's very successful. His deal is done. Ours isn't. And he has an opportunity now where his clientele are only in the B club, as he calls them. I didn't know what that meant because, like I say, I'm not in that community. But a B club is billionaire club. So his like the Fry's Electronics guy, David Fry, and all these type of guys, those are the type of customers or clients that he sees. I'm like, well, Kelly, what do you notice when you're with these extremely, top 0.0001%? of the population. What do you notice when you're with these people? What do you learn? He's like, well, and he's been doing this for 25 years. I said, the common denominator I've discovered after all this time is that these folks often get to this place of extreme wealth and are extremely unhappy. Yeah. And I said, well, how could that be? Because society tells us more is better. Society tells us our lifestyle ambition should be more. Supersize your fries, upsize this, everything's more, more, more. We're culturally stuck in a narrative of more is better. My observation. You may take disagreement with that, that's fine, we can talk about that later, but that's my observation. And being in the lack of an ambition, lack of going through the exercise and saying, what is it that you're after in life? When we lack that, we fall back into comfort. And comfort is normally those things that we're just taught, not knowing we're being taught, and that's that narrative and ambition of more. Comfort is not an ambition, guys. And for you that are about to start a business, you're about to soon learn that. Right? And I don't say that in a bad way. I say that in a respectful way. Be prepared for that. It's good to give yourself throw yourself into a new learning situation. Kind of like I want to learn Spanish, so I go to Mexico and force myself to immerse in the language. Right? You're about to throw yourself into an endeavor that you will learn fast, or not. Right? So the lesson I learned from my friend Kelly is, well, if extreme wealth, this membership in the B Club, doesn't yield happiness or produce the definition of success that I think we would all want, a good life. Trust me, $1 billion can buy a lot of goods and services. But if our lifestyle ambition didn't include those other things like community involvement, friends, family, or whatever those things that are important to you, then you're going to miss the boat, because you're going to be in actions that only produce societal interpretations of success and go after more, more, and more, and get to the end, and perhaps that's not where you expected or wanted to be. So that's my encouragement, really. The thesis today that I wanted to share with everybody is, think about it. Think about what it is you're doing this business for, what you're going after in life. And oftentimes you can put a price tag on that. For the lifestyle we want to live, and we got from ages 22 to 62, you got 40 working years roughly, give or take, which is roughly 10,000 working days. 250 working days a year times 40, 10,000 working days. Each one of those days, are you in the right actions to produce that result at the end, retirement and such, that will produce the results you want? Some of it's just math, some of it's just, reflective soul searching. Success is a verb. Success is action. Success is vigorous action. You guys are about to find that out, that launch into the entrepreneurial throes of life. It's awesome. Just know what you're in it for, right? Build a community of folks. I mean, Chandler is phenomenal. I can't imagine anybody or any city better than this city to start a business. They are behind you every way, shape, and form. We're in that incubator, and there's financial help and all that, but just more holistic help of being able to come to these things, building a community, being around other like-minded people who desire to have a positive effect in both their lives and the community they live in. And success is an action against an ambition for you to measure your desired results. Is personal. It's personal. That's it. That's all I had today, guys. I wish you the best of luck in your endeavors.